Yep.
Hey,
Hi, Rory.
guys.
Morning.
Hey, mate.
Morning.
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 How are you today?
We're all right, really.
We're good, thanks. Yeah.
Despite everything, we're actually okay. Yeah.
Good. What is your brotherly relationship like?
Our personal relationship.
Yeah, what are your relationship like, you two?
It's pretty good, really.
It is. Yeah. I mean, we've over the years we've learnt our roles in terms of the band. We don't have a great deal of egos between us, in as much as that I have no interest in being the front man, and Richard's very good at that. And also we sort of have our own lanes, if you like. We obviously when it first started, we were quite stressed and we fell out a few times, but now it's pretty good. I think we get on better than most brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
What was your childhood like?
What was
Our
that
childhood.
like?
We were very lucky. We were raised in the country. We were both born in London, but Mum and Dad moved out to a place called East Grinstead, and they were both very traditional. Dad worked all day. Mum was the housewife, and they were very loving. We were very, very fortunate. We were never beaten. We were never abused, or abused verbally. And it was a very balanced relationship we had with them. So we were very fortunate.
Yeah. And also back in the day, it was a very, the atmosphere in little towns like East Grinstead was pretty relaxed. So we could disappear on our bikes all day. The mum and dad would never worry about what happened to us. I mean, these days, our parents would probably be very concerned if the kid disappeared for a whole day on their bikes, But back in the day, it was very relaxed. It was a very, very calm, friendly little town.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right. And we went to a school called Imberhorn, which was a comprehensive, and I think it was quite a big school, and pretty very average education. Nothing spectacular, or it wasn't great and it wasn't rubbish. It was just in the middle, I think.
Well, it was a secondary school. So when we first went there, you had the grammar school and the secondary school.
That's right, yes.
It didn't become comprehensive until we had been there for a few years. So when we were kids, obviously you had the 11 plus, and some kids passed and some kids didn't.
We didn't.
And we didn't. And we went to the secondary school. Yeah.
Where was your first job?
Oh.
My very first job, I had a paper round when I was about 12 or 11 or 12. And we also both used to help the postman at Christmas. So we would deliver the post at Christmas.
Yep.
And we had gardening jobs, and you used to.
I had a bottling job.
Yeah, but way back then, Richard used to work at a hotel, and he used to have to separate all the bottles.
You had blue bottle, you had
brown bottles,
essentially white, brown and
see-through. Yeah,
see-through. Yeah.
They were our very first job as kids.
Yeah. And I got £12.50, I think, for about 5 hours.
That much?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
it's not bad.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
When did you start writing songs, and do you still write them?
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. We started writing. I mean, the reason I started playing guitar was because I wanted to write songs. So that was why I started playing. Richard started playing bass very short, about around the same time. And yes, we write everything. Pretty much everything. Sometimes we co-write, which means we'll have a third or sometimes a fourth person in the room with us.
Yeah.
But most of the time we write our own songs. We wrote "I'm Too Sexy," "Dippy Dippy," "Don't Talk Just Kiss," all that stuff off the first album. And the most recent stuff is just the two of us. So the new single, "Your Inner Light Is Love," is just the two of us.
Yeah.
As was
Criminals.
Criminals with Clyde.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Clyde. That was a co-write.
Tide was a co-write.
Tide was a co-write. So sometimes we co-write, sometimes it's just the two of us.
Yeah, if it's easy, if co-writing with somebody is easy, then we're happy with it. But sometimes co-writing with a third party can get very, very, very difficult with lawyers and managers and percentages and everything else. It makes the whole process extremely tedious. So we try and avoid it if we can.
What is your songwriting process like?
Well, we don't really have one, I don't think. We tend to we might start off with a title, or we might start with a melody. Very often it's not often. So start again. It's not often we have the song from beginning to end done.
No.
We start off with a verse, or we start off with a chorus, and then we see what fits with what we've got.
Yeah. And we often, Richard plays bass, so some of the melodies are based around, like I'm Too Sexy, are based around a bass line. And other times we write, we'll have a concept, like with the new single, Your Only Light Is Love, we knew the sort of song we wanted to write. So
Exactly.
we wanted to write a sing-along campfire sort of track. So we had the idea of the song, and we just needed to find a way of making that work. So we don't really have a process. It changes song by song, to be honest.
Yeah.
What inspires you to write songs?
Oh, almost anything.
Yeah, almost anything. And actually, we write. It's a hobby we get paid for. So even if we weren't, well, we're not getting paid at the moment, actually. But
Yeah, exactly.
thanks to lockdown. But it's something we just do. It's like some people will go for a walk, or some people play tennis regularly. We write songs. It's in our
Sort of therapy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
In a way.
Yeah, we both suffer with depression, and songwriting is a really good antidote to that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we do it. But also, we enjoy it. So it's something we do pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have. There's not one. We don't have a single sort of source of inspiration in a way.
No, we don't. No.
Not really. But one thing that does inspire us is personal experiences and also the world around us. I think writing about the world around you is one of the jobs that pop music should perform. Just like painting. Painters have painted images of the world around them and reinterpreted the world around them. Writers the same. So it's very natural to us. With I'm Too Sexy, that was a comment on models and supermodels and the whole thing. You're My Mate was a comment on friendship. So we have different inspirations, really, depending on how we feel at the time.
Who are your vocal influences?
Good question.
Yeah. It sort of differs. I think when we were kids, we grew up in the sort of early 70s, so we were listening to people like let me think.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, we listened to bands like Led Zeppelin, a lot of rock initially, and then we started listening to a lot of glam stuff like early David Bowie, T-Rex, Sweet, those sort of bands. Then we discovered people like Talking Heads and Television. And so we started, it sort of changed a little bit. Now, most of the influence is to do with production. We don't, sometimes we'll look at chord sequences from certain artists to see what they did and how they went from one chord to another and what tricks they used.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time when we listen to stuff, it's to do with production ideas, particularly a lot of stuff that has the big choruses and the small verses and how they make those dynamics work.
We're very conscious of not stealing stuff. So if we have a melody that we like, and then we discover that it's very close to something else, we immediately bin it. We don't go anywhere near that. And there are artists around that have been sued several times for plagiarism of other people's material. And I think we are very, I don't know why, but we are just very sensitive to that, and always have been.
Who is your dream collab?
Dream collaborator, collaborator would be, we quite like to work with a DJ, someone like Robin Schulz or Calvin Harris. We quite like that.
Yeah.
Or probably something a bit off the wall. Someone like a Gary or something that would.
It's a million miles from us.
Yes. So, something that wouldn't really necessarily make sense on paper.
What is your best memory in the music business?
Our best memories tend to be quite personal. So, for example, I had a message from a trauma surgeon, and she mostly did her work was to do with burns on young children, and she found it a very difficult and challenging job. And she said that one of the things that helps her get ready mentally is listening to us. It helps her get in the right frame of mind and cheer up. Also, with a lot of we've done a lot of stuff with charities for people who are terminally ill, and some of those engagements and some of those events have been really rewarding.
Yes, it's the off-camera stuff very often.
Yeah, it is. I mean, awards and big records are very nice, but they're not always the most important.
One of the things I remember most clearly was when You're My Mate was a big hit in Germany. We went to a school somewhere in Germany, and Hanover, and all the kids, very young kids, had all worked out this huge dance routine to the song, and it was brilliant. We just stood there and watched them while they all danced around.
That was fantastic.
That was really, really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
What's it like to perform in front of Queen Elizabeth? What's it like to perform?
Oh, yeah.
Queen Elizabeth.
Yes, well, we were involved in a charity called Hunger First, which was in South Africa, and we went over there and did a whole bunch of shows. And to be honest with you, who's in the audience doesn't make a huge difference, because once you're performing, you're performing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've also performed for the Queen and Helmut Kohl and all sorts of different sort of well-known people. So once you're on stage, you just tend to get on and do your job,
Yeah.
But being involved in the charity and doing stuff in Soweto was amazing. Yeah.
The worst thing is performing in front of friends.
Yes.
That's the worst thing. Performing in front of people is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Have you got any performances planned?
Well, it's not up to us, sadly. We'd be performing next week if it was. There's at the moment there are shows in the diary for the end of the year and next year.
Yeah.
But we that is not down to us. It will depend on the rules and regulations of each country. So sadly, we just like every other artist, we're just waiting for things to change.
Yeah. So
no, we haven't got anything. We've got contracts for shows, but they don't mean much at the moment because everything keeps changing.
Yeah, and they very often change at the last minute.
Yes.
So planning anything is extremely difficult, because you can plan a gig for next next February, and suddenly the lockdown again and whatever it is, or you can't fly, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so planning anything is extremely difficult.
Have you played in Cornwall? Have you played in Cornwall?
Have we played in Cornwall?
Yes, we have, because we did a Radio 1 roadshow down there, and
yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and we have done. We did a festival down there about 4 or 5 years ago. Was that Pigstock? I don't know. We did some weird festival. So yes, the answer to that question is yes, we have.
Yes, we have. Yes.
That's cool. What have you been doing during lockdown?
Well, we're
trying to stay sane.
Trying not to go mad.
Yeah.
We got some gym equipment and put it in the Richard's home so we could train. We've been writing a lot. We've released 2 EPs, and we've started work on an autobiography. We've been commissioned to write a book, so we've started a bit of work on that. So anything that we can that does require permission from the government.
Yeah. Yeah.
What have you got planned next?
What we've got planned next is right now we're doing quite a lot of interviews, like the same with people like you.
Yep.
So today we have a day of interviews. Tomorrow we're in the studio. So more long term, we're doing some writing and recording for the next release.
Yeah, and we're doing an autobiography in the summer.
Yeah, we start writing
that in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just trying to keep busy, like a lot of artists, a lot of people.
What's your attitude for 2021? What was your attitude
Our
for
attitude
2021?
towards 2021? Yeah. Okay.
To get through it.
Yeah, to get through it. To be honest with you, we weren't very optimistic. We think this year and last year will be pretty similar in terms of what affects us. And we don't. We try not to make too many plans at the moment that involve. We try to make plans at the moment. We try to make plans that things that we can control.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't get involved with events or anything else at the moment because they're not reliable. So yeah, we didn't make a lot of plans. We just did stuff that we can control.
Yeah.
When is your birthday and what's your zodiac sign?
Ah,
My November 2nd, I'm Scorpio.
my birthday is September the 2nd, 22nd. So I'm on what they call the cusp with Libra and Virgo. Yep. So I'm right on the cusp. Yeah. So I'm a bit of both.
What's your favourite food, animal, colour, and musician?
A musician,
That's
okay.
easy, that's easy.
Animal would be dog.
Yeah.
Food, probably pasta, probably, or something like that. Yeah, I think pasta, yeah. Colour, I don't have a favourite colour, to be honest with you. Probably if I had to pick one, it would be like a teal blue. And favourite musician, I don't have a single favourite musician, it changes, but in terms of guitar players, I love Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. And I really like players like Keith Richards, Mick Ralphs. Who else is there? Oh God, there is. Oh, in terms of drummers, Levon Helm. What about you?
Well, I would be the same as Fred. Dog, favourite animal. Pasta, definitely favourite food. Favourite colour would probably be green. And my favourite musician is Ronnie Lane from The Faces, who was a fantastically picturesque bass player.
Who's on your music playlist? Sorry, right, I say again.
Our music playlist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's on our playlist?
Yeah.
Okay, who's on my playlist at the moment? It is right. Let me think. It is what I've been playing recently. I've been playing a bit of King Crimson. I've been playing the Wombats. I've been playing Neil Young, ZZ Top, Pearl Jam, and various dance tracks like stuff from Calvin Harris or what's it? Facilities, flight facilities. I think they're called, the remix people, and also quite a lot of sort of ambient stuff, like with bands like Blow and Air.
Yeah, Blow. Yeah, I the only time I listen to music is when I'm on the exercise bike. So all my stuff is fairly pacey. So it tends to be American rock. The King Crimson version of Heroes is brilliant. And some of the early Aerosmith I really like. Who's the guy who did black guy, really good singer?
Billy Ocean.
Billy Ocean, yeah, I really like some of the
and
Billy
also
Ocean stuff.
you're listening to Chaz and Dave, man.
Oh, Chaz and Dave, I love. There's a track by Chaz and Dave called "Ain't No Pleasing You," which I absolutely love. The drum sound on it is brilliant. So it varies a lot. Yeah, it varies a lot.
Do you collect anything?
Yes, debt.
Debt. Stress. Not well. I collect. I play guitar, as you know, so I have a lot of what they call effects pedals, which are things that make the guitar sound different. So I suppose you could say that, but I don't have a hobby in collecting. No, I don't collect vases or china. I've got a few paintings from unknown artists that I like. I wouldn't say I'm a collector. About you?
No, I don't collect.
No.
I'm not a hoarder, really. If I had more money, I'd like to collect cars.
Yes.
I would really enjoy having about 4 or 5 of my favourite cars. But you need to have bucket loads of money to do that. So yeah.
Being an independent musician.
Being an independent musician doesn't help. So as it is, I'm not really a collector now.
No.
Who's your favourite superhero?
Oh,
that's a good point.
I think probably Batman.
Yeah, I was about to say Batman.
Because I grew up with Batman. Well, not with him. I mean, I wasn't in the same house, but I grew up with him. If I was my favourites, we're often asked what would be our favourite superhero gift, and I think I'd like to be invisible. I'd like to be able to be invisible, because then you could walk.
Who said that?
Yeah, who said that? And yes, you could do it. Almost, you could rob banks. You could walk into changing areas. You could be really naughty.
What's your favourite board game?
Monopoly.
Probably Monopoly.
That was easy.
Yeah. Scrabble, I don't mind.
Yeah,
Scrabble if I'm in the right mood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But when you only know 3 words, Scrabble's a bit difficult.
Yeah. The Scrabble's one of them.
Yeah, Scrabble's one of them. Yeah, exactly.
What is your favourite movie?
Oh, easy.
In the Heat of the Night, Pulp Fiction. Paradiso, which is Parasite, which is a South Korean film. They're my sort of favourite movies.
I've only got one really, which is It's a Wonderful Life
Oh, it's sort of
with
okay.
James Stewart.
Yeah.
That's my one single most favourite movie.
People, who would play you in the movie? Who play
Sandra
you
Bullock.
in the movie?
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
And I'd like to be played by yes, who's that lady that I really like?
Oh,
Juliet.
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman.
Yeah, Uma Thurman and Sandra Bullock should play us.
They both look like us.
They're both really
Yeah,
nice.
there you go.
Yeah, yes.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, I don't. Oh, yes, I did. When I was a kid, it was. Oh God.
Celebrity crush.
Yes.
Okay, mine was Olivia Newton-John.
And mine was David Cassidy.
Okay, yep. And I got to dance with Olivia Newton-John. And
Yeah.
I had a slow dance with her. It was very, very nice.
Well, she was fast dancing, trying to
Yeah.
get away.
Yeah, but I got her eventually.
But you got her eventually. Yeah. So, but no, I was. We never really had crushes, but David Cassidy was one I thought was extremely cute. Yeah.
One more question. Who would ask you 10 questions?
Who would we ask 10 questions of?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, right. Who would we ask 10 questions of? Let me think. I think probably someone like Jordan Peterson
He's good. Yeah.
or Christopher Hitchens, if he was still alive, which he's not, so I guess that's a bit irrelevant. Or let me have a quick think. Somebody like, or maybe someone like Eckhart Tolle, who's a spiritual teacher. What about you?
I think mine would be Peter Hitchens, probably.
Peter Hitchens.
Yeah, Peter Hitchens, because one, he's still alive, so it's easy to talk to him, and also he says things which make me think, which I like. In terms of if there are any musicians, I'm not sure who I'd ask really. One person I would like to talk to actually is Macy Gray, because I think she kind of disappeared, and I'd like to know why. Because she's a wonderful voice and a very sort of ballsy lady, I think. First single I tried was absolutely brilliant. So I'd like to talk to her and just see, where she is, what she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the final one. Where did you get the name Right Said Fred? Where did you get the name Right Said
The
Fred?
name comes from
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
The Right Said Fred was a song sung by Bernard Cribbins, who was an English comedy actor, and he did a couple of songs in the early 1960s, and one of the songs was called Right Said Fred, so that's where we got the name from.
Yeah. And it's a brilliant name, don't you think?
Yeah, brilliant name. I love it.
It's a brilliant name. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.